Welcome, fellow horror enthusiasts. I'm Keo, and today, we're diving into a tale that will send shivers down your spine. In this episode, we'll explore the haunting story of the haunted Dollmaker, the chilling tale of lifelike dolls driven by tormented souls seeking revenge. So, grab your popcorn, dim the lights, and get ready for a spine-tingling journey into the eerie world of Belle's dolls. Trust me, you won't want to miss this one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay updated on all our terrifying tales. Let's get started. In the quaint, fog-draped town of Marlow, nestled deep in the New England countryside, there stood a small, seemingly inconspicuous shop on Elm Street. The sign hanging above the door was worn and faded, its once vibrant colors now a dull reminder of a bygone era. It read Belle's Dolls. The shop had been there for as long as anyone could remember, but few in the town could recall ever seeing anyone go in or out. Eliza Belle, the owner, was a woman of middle age with porcelain skin that rarely saw the sun and hair as dark as a moonless night. Her eyes were a striking shade of green, deep and intense, like emeralds reflecting the light of hidden fires. Eliza was a master dollmaker, her creations renowned for their uncanny lifelike qualities. Each doll was a work of art, crafted with meticulous care and an attention to detail that bordered on obsession. Eliza had inherited the shop from her father, a man whose life had been shrouded in mystery and whose death had left behind more questions than answers. Among the many curiosities her father had collected over the years was an ancient, leather-bound book filled with strange symbols and cryptic incantations. It was a relic from a distant past, a time when magic and the supernatural were part of everyday life. Her father had always warned her about the book, saying it held powers beyond human understanding. But Eliza, driven by a desire to surpass her father's talents, could not resist the allure of its secrets. Eliza's life was one of solitude, her days spent in the dimly lit workshop at the back of the shop. There, she would painstakingly craft each doll, choosing the finest porcelain for their faces, painting their features with a precision that seemed almost otherworldly. Their eyes were made of the highest quality glass, reflecting the light in a way that made them appear almost real. Their hair was sourced from the finest human hair, meticulously styled to enhance their lifelike appearance. One stormy evening, as the wind howled outside and rain lashed against the windows, Eliza found herself drawn to the ancient book. It had been years since she had last opened it, but something about that night felt different. She sat at her workbench, the flickering candle casting eerie shadows on the walls, and began to read the strange symbols. Her heart pounded in her chest as she whispered an incantation, her voice barely audible over the raging storm. As she spoke the words, a chill ran through the room, and the candles flamed dim to almost nothing. Eliza felt a presence, an otherworldly force that seemed to fill the room. She looked at the doll she had been working on, a beautiful creation she had named Annabelle. To her horror, she saw the doll's eyes flutter open, their glassy surface now reflecting a sinister light. Annabelle moved. At first, it was a small, almost imperceptible twitch of the fingers, a subtle tilt of the head. But soon, the movements became more pronounced, more deliberate. Eliza watched in horrified fascination as Annabelle stood up on the workbench, her porcelain feet clicking softly against the wood. "Who are you?" Eliza whispered, her voice trembling with fear. Annabelle's head turned slowly, and a voice filled the room, a voice that was not Eliza's. "I am the one who was wronged," it said, filled with sorrow and anger. Eliza's heart pounded in her chest as she realized the truth. She had unleashed something terrible, something that should have remained hidden. As the days turned into nights, more of Eliza's dolls began to move on their own. Each one seemed to carry a fragment of a tormented soul, each one driven by a desire for vengeance. The shop, once a place of creation and artistry, became a house of horrors. The dolls would whisper to each other in the dark, their glassy eyes following Eliza's every move. She tried to find a way to undo what she had done, to banish the spirits back to where they belonged. But the ancient book offered no solutions, only more questions. Eliza was trapped in a nightmare of her own making. She could feel the malevolent presence growing stronger with each passing day. The townspeople began to notice strange occurrences, disappearances, whispers in the night, shadows that moved on their own. Fear spread through Marlow like a plague, and soon, no one dared to go near Belle's dolls. One by one, the people of Marlow began to vanish. They would be drawn to the shop by an unseen force, only to disappear without a trace. Their screams would echo through the night, a chilling reminder of the horrors that lurked within the shop. Eliza's final moments were filled with the cold realization of her actions. She was surrounded by her creations, each one a vessel of revenge, each one a testament to her hubris. As the dolls closed in on her, their eyes gleaming with malevolent intent, Eliza whispered a final plea for forgiveness, but the dolls showed no mercy. And thus, the legacy of Belle's dolls continued, each creation a silent witness to the horrors that unfolded within those walls. The shop remained, a haunted relic of a time when the line between the living and the dead was crossed by a dollmaker who dared to play with forces beyond her understanding. This concludes the beginning of our tale.